So I got the battery tray down to a sandblaster. I didn't really get a good view of the hinges, but the hinges was crusty and red. Got those came out really good. The battery tray even came out even better from all the little rust they had on it and whatever. I should have took a better video of those hinges. It wasn't really looking all that good, but now it looks pretty new. Got it sandblasted with walnut shells, so it's not going to really damage anything or make it like crusty when it's coming in and out. It's not going to grind or nothing, but any like stuck sand residue. When I took out the windshield wiper, the whole assembly, the wipers was pretty straightforward to take out. I felt it was easier if you bent them backwards, like to the up position. Then the plastic cover part came off, and then it was just like a assembly, a little stack of nuts, and had like I think it was a 10 or a 12, and then like a piece of plastic trimmed, and the other nut was just a little bigger than that. It was a very thin nut, but took that off, and then when I took the passenger side off, I was like, I don't really have to take that side off because that side's not that stud isn't really in a hole like like this side over here, like the driver's side. So I'll kind of put that back on so I'll have more of a reference. I ended up taking it back out and putting it in a Ziploc bag anyway. But I felt the easiest way for me to get it out was, it had two little rubber grommets there too. I took that out. But after you disconnect everything and you pop the driver's side through the hole over there, I pulled the passenger side up away from the by the windshield area, and after that it just slid out. After that was the only piece I was kind of stopping it. So this on the car panel, I took the window squirters out. It was pretty straightforward to squeeze them, push them out. The tube that was connected to it was kind of dried onto there. It's kind of like a radiator hose. It was the same concept. I just usually take up pliers, don't put too much pressure, but I kind of grab the tube with the pliers, twist it back and forth, and once it gets loose on the whatever part it's on, like this little squirter here, it just kind of pops straight out. I know you could spray some WD-40 and stuff. I wasn't doing all that. Right now I just grabbed it. It was kind of hard to do with one hand, but I just grabbed it there. You see, I twisted. I didn't put too much pressure on it for it to break or anything, but I just enough to get a good hold on it until it got free, and then I just twisted it back and forth and pulled it out straight out. They had a little piece of plastic on this too, like a vent under the vent that was held together by some tape, I believe. It was kind of like that foam tape sticky thing, and then it had two little pieces of plastic going into two other little holes to kind of hold it. This side was pretty much the same thing. I realized that the middle connection was broke, so I have to get a new one of those. And yeah, so those headlights on the back, those have to get taken apart and polished, wet sanded, and buffed out and glued back together. But that's for another day. All my little parts that I take out, I'm putting in baggies, some old bags I got from work that was thrown away. So I label everything. So this year I was trying to take the motor out so I could take these to the sandblaster, so I could get these sandblasted. But it's a Phillips head. I didn't want to come out, so I gave it some taps to see if I could loosen it, wake them up a little bit and loosen them out. But it didn't want to come out. I didn't want to like strip the thread on the heads or anything. So what I realized after that, it's a 8mm. So instead of trying to do all this, I just grabbed an 8mm. Came out super easy. I don't know why it was so hard here, because it came out very easy on the 8mm, and then had a 10mm on the middle arm, the arm that connects to the gear and the motor. It was a 10mm. I left the nut just like right at the tip, and I gave it a few little hammers, and it popped out, and the whole motor came out from the arm assembly, so I could take that to the to sandblast. I'm not sure if that motor is working or not. I gotta test it out. I know the windshield wiper was not working. I don't know if it's a fuse or what it was, but so that's all gonna be part of the restoration, figuring out all the wiring. I hate wiring, but I'll figure it out. Here I was taking out the nose clip, the nose panel. Everything came out. They had one of them that the drill was a little too what's the word? A little too tall, so I got a small 1/4 inch. There you see that headlight fell off. Nothing got damaged, but this, I don't know how to connect to these headlights. The wire's going up inside there and I can't get them out. There's no plug. They have one plug I got out, but the next side, it can't come out. The lid over the light can't come out. The screws is, the heads is messed up and rusted, so I couldn't get those out. I have to figure that out. But, so yeah, this middle one here, I had to use a 1/4 inch because it's just lower profile to get in between the hood and the panel. So it was just those, and it had like 2 screws on the side. I think I filmed that as well. So here I took the 1/4 inch and I took that last screw out. All these went in a separate bag. So just so when it's time to reassemble, it's gonna be that much easier. These bolts too, I was thinking about reusing them. I'll see. I'll probably buy all new hardware where I could. Some of them, like if it's in pretty decent shape, I take it, sandblast the heads off and spray the heads, the head of the bolt, the washer or whatever. I don't really get paint on the I won't really paint the threading since it might, make it hard to go through. These are the 2 other screws I have here that holds it, all 10 millimeter. 1 and 2. Same thing for the next side. It just has 2. Make sure you're holding it because it'll just fall off. The Mazda emblem, I was wondering how to get those off. All the emblems for mine is not metal because I guess it's the later models. It's plastic. You see there, it almost fell off, so I had to grab it, whatever, took it off. The Mazda emblem, I just grabbed the plastic in the back, not too hard for it to break. Those little tabs in the back there, and I spun them like I was trying to unscrew them, and I held it with pliers. And then I used the back of the pliers. You could use a small hammer or whatever. Tapped each of the. It's not gonna unscrew, but you just gotta tap the tab that goes through it, and it'll pop right out. All the emblems, the fenders, the GSLSE, GSL, GS, whatever. Mazda on the back, all of them is the same, unless you have the 79 model. Here I took the shocks off. I'm taking a work to refurbish. It was a 14, came straight off. Then I took these out with a Phillips head, squeezed it back with a pliers, kind of just like played with it. It came out. The 2 little plastic tabs here, same way, squeezed it with pliers. It came out. Took everything to a sandblasting machine the next day, and really that was it. The windshield wipers came out pretty good. The shocks came out good. The bumper shocks. That has to get a little paint. Everything has to get a little paint on it, and we'll call it a day from there. We'll see what up next.